Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Fierce Female Friday, January 20th, and welcome to an all-new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today is the creator and owner and CEO of Extraordinary Entertainment, and I'm super excited to have him here, Fashion Dolls, in the dollhouse. I apologize about my tardiness, but I had to upload the OOTD, the outfit of the day, so make sure you guys go and check that out, and make sure you vote for your favorite LOTW, which is the look of the week. So without further ado, let me go ahead and send this live to him. I apologize about the tardiness, Fashion Dolls, but we are going to have a great show today with our very special guest, Mr. Christopher Walker. I'm super excited, you guys. It is finally Friday. It's been a hectic, busy week. And I hope you guys enjoyed the outfit of the day. It is a cute little short set that I got from Fashion Nova called All Around the World. So make sure you guys go and check that out. So without further ado, let's welcome our incredibly handsome, talented special guest. He is the CEO of Extraordinary Entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Walker. All right.
There we
There
go.
you are. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It is such a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to the Dollhouse. So, before we kick off this interview, how has 2023 been for you thus far?
Ooh, that's a really good question. So far, it's been really, really busy. Got some really great things coming up this year that I have yet to announce. So stay tuned for that.
All right, all right. And it's a pleasure to have you here. And that's amazing that everything is going well for you in this year of 2023. And I tell people this all the time. 2023 is the year of envision and reset. You know, going into a new year, every year is just like pressing that reset button. So let's get right into it. Fashion Dolls, without further ado. So you are the CEO of Extraordinary Entertainment. Now tell us a little bit about how you got your start with your company, because I did a little research on you and you started your company back in 2005. Is that right?
Yes, it was my mother's company. So when she started the company in 2005, we basically integrated into running the company shortly after her passing in 2007.
Sorry.
So yeah, unfortunately. So from that time, I've been, well, along with my brothers, been running that business since 2007. So one of the things is I'd say it's a blessing to work with family, but it's also a curse to work with family. We have our moments and our times, but one of the things is that we do what we have to do to get the job done, and we make it happen. So we've been doing it for the past, well, it'll be 16 years this year. So yeah.
Wow. So how do you find that balance? Because I know, like you said, working with family is definitely challenging. So how do you find that balance to separate the business as well as the family aspect?
That is always a good thing. It's funny when we are together, it's an amazing, interesting time to say the least, because sometimes we forget to separate the family aspect from the business aspect. So there are some times that there are a few tensions in the room, but we kind of try to set those things aside and try to make time for family. So yeah, it's definitely. I tell people all the time, it's definitely a how can I put it? It's it's a hurdle at times to try to set aside those differences and things of that nature. But we make it do what it do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So having this company, what is it like? You know, it's passed on down from you after your mom passed on. Our condolences to you and the family. What is it like having this responsibility and now working along with your family and your brothers?
Wow. It's so funny because, when we first started everything together, we had our interesting dynamics. So it was, how can I put it? It was we worked alongside very well at first, and as time has gone on, of course there has been different tensions because you have different, a lot of big personalities that are in the room together. So you have a Aries, you have a Aquarius, you have a Sagittarius, you have a Leo, myself. So there's a lot of, if you can understand, there's a lot of different
Yeah.
personalities there. So my thing is that at the end of the day, we do our best to come together to do the work, put the work in. We try to our best to set aside those differences. But at the end of the day, we're still brothers. Gonna still have those moments and those tensions, but we still look forward to getting the work done.
Now you've transformed this company into a little bit of a marketing and promotions company. Now your company also has a talk show as well too. And one of my guests that I've had on previously on the show, you know him as Vigorous, or Brian, has
Yeah.
also co-hosted on your platform as well too. So what is it like? Because you guys go live every Thursday, and the platform is amazing because you cover a number of topics. So what element did you want to bring to this talk show as well as this platform as well too?
Wow. So I want to start off by saying I'm so grateful to Vigorous have being a part of that project. He stepped down some time ago of being a co-host on that show due to just scheduling. His schedule is ridiculously crazy. So we now have someone else by the name of Rashad West who has taken his place for the time being, and I am really, really excited about the show. And I love the fact that with this show, we cover an array of different topics, like you
Yeah,
said. We cover a lot of trending and upcoming current events and things of that nature. We put our own take and spin on it. With that show, it takes a lot of work to do. It's a lot of work putting that show on each and every Thursday. Matter of fact, we've been on break since November, and we are making our way back. In 2 weeks. Yeah, so in 2 weeks we'll be back.
and I agree with you wholeheartedly, 100%, because I do this platform 5 days a week, Style by Stevie, Monday through Friday. And everybody's like, is there a moment when she's not live? And that moment is when I have downtime to take a break. But hosting a platform is exhausting. It takes a lot out of you. And just making sure that you have everything right and perfect, just like for our interview. We talked, and I wanted everything to be perfect behind the scenes as well as yourself. So it definitely takes a lot. What advice would you give to people out here who are looking to host a talk show or platform, create or step behind the lens like a creator like yourself, right?
One of the things that I will give anybody as far as advice is to don't wait. Don't wait to put your show together. Go ahead and do it. I know a lot of people are perfectionists and they want things done a certain way, and I was one of those people as well. I was one of those people as well. My godmother told me to stop trying to put an array of this formula together that you've been wanting to do. Just do it. And that was one of the things that, I looked at it and I was like, you know what? We're going to go ahead and do it. So in 2019, we did it. So I tell anybody, just go ahead, put your vision to the forefront, make it happen. Don't wait. Make it happen now. Now is the time. Now is the best time to do it. One of the things about being a content creator, can't wait for the moment. You just have to do it. You have to take it.
Absolutely. And another thing that people don't know about you is that you are also a former candidate for city council of Marietta, Georgia. So tell us, what was that like for you? Oh my goodness.
That was an amazing journey. I would never, never forget that moment. To run for office is an amazing feat. I give it to all those people, all those politicians that have done it and that are continuously doing the work. My hat really goes off to them because there's a lot of work that goes into that. You are really changing. You basically have to change your entire life.
Yeah,
It's a whole lifestyle change. You are basically in the forefront in front of everybody. And the thing about it is, it's like I had to do a lot of studying. So there was a lot of studying that you have to do, like day and night studying. And then when you aren't studying, you're in front of the people, talking to the people, hearing their issues, talking to them and things, and trying to figure out how can you make their lives better when you do get into office. And then also on top of that, you're going to different. The seat that I was running for was city council. So I had to go into a lot of different city council meetings that were already being present so I can see what the issues were and seeing how I could better suit everybody once I became a city councilman. Then on top of that, you are not only are you doing that, you're fundraising. So you're having to do a lot of fundraising and trying to raise money and things of that nature. So you're going to the people that are your friends and family, but also going to different people in the community to try to see if you can get some type of funding to help with your campaign. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But I really enjoy it because I got a chance to really talk to small business owners. I got a chance to talk to the people in my community, listening to the issues, seeing what the issues were, and trying to resolve those issues once I got into office. Because one thing I tell people all the time, once you get in office, my thing is you always people always say, well, I rely on the politician to do the work. But my thing is, it takes the politician and that community to work together to go ahead and try to get the job done.
And it's a big responsibility. And I'm pretty sure you bumped elbows with Raphael Warnock and Stacey Abrams at the time during your candidate run. So I mean, it's a lot. Running for office or having any political responsibility is a big thing. And we're seeing, the midterm. What was it, last month, the previous month before, everybody had to go behind the scenes just for on the ground, stomping and running, trying to get elected. It's a lot of work. So let me see. I think we have a question for you. Wait a minute.
Okay.
No, we don't. No, that was just a comment. I'm sorry. But yeah, like I was saying, though, it takes a lot of work if this is something that you're willing to do, a run for any political run, for anything for office. So what advice would you also give to people who are looking to run if they're looking to become a candidate elect for any form of office?
For those that are looking to run for any office or any seat, my thing is do your research. Do your research. Know what your policies are. Know what you stand for. And also, too, on top of that, make sure that you are willing to do the work as far as getting in front of the community and actually talking to them and hearing them out. Because one of the things is you don't want to go and run for a seat and you have no earthly idea of what the issues are from the actual community. So really get out there, put the work in, know what you're running for, and knowing what your policies are. That pretty much is really it. My thing is, at the end of the day, get out and make a difference, because the time is now to really make that poignant point in your life to want to do something better for your community. And that was really one of my biggest reasons of running, is because I wanted to do something better for my community.
Absolutely. And we have a question for you from my paternal island Yankee. He wants to know, what advice would you give to an inspiring content creator who doesn't know where or how to start?
Ooh, that's a really good one. So what I would do is I would tell anybody that's trying to get their start in being a content creator, make sure that you have the right tools. So that's one. Make sure you have the right tools. Make sure you have the better lighting. So you always want to make sure you have lighting. You also want to make sure you have the platform that you want to use, because there's several different platforms that you can actually really use. I also want to make sure you want to know your target audience, know who your target audience is, your core audience. Also, too, when it comes down to putting your podcast together, what is going to be your podcast? What are you wanting to do with your podcast? So those are some of the forefront pieces of putting together your content. Because my thing is, when you put content out, you want to make sure it makes sense to the masses. And if it doesn't make sense to the masses, they're not going to watch it. So you always want to make sure that you're putting something together that people are going to want to tune into. One of the biggest things is what I did when I first started. I asked my audience, my core audience, I said, would you guys be interested in this particular piece of content? Because I wanted to know their feedback on that, because I wanted to see if they would actually watch it. So that's one of my biggest things, is to make sure you talk to your target audience, ask them would they be interested in what you're trying to put out, and then go from there. And if they say that they're not interested, try to figure out what they're interested in, and then move forward from there.
Even with me, with this particular talk show and platform, I make sure that I try to give people a variety and range of things on this platform here, with games, which we'll get into some games with you. And it's not going to be long, it's at least 15 minutes. And I try to give people girl talks. They love my girl talks that I do here with the panel, Like we have a couple more girl talks coming up. Like all throughout this week has just been girl talks. And I try to shake it up and I give men the floor as well too. Like I've had three co-hosts here on this platform, and Johnny's doing his thing, EJ's doing his thing, Marco's doing his thing, and they still come through the platform and support 100% and come through and co-host with me as well too. And it's amazing how you have to find that balance, that or of things that work for you. And you get just a little bit of everything here on this platform, from fashion to beauty to conversation that just draws people in. And I try to make sure that I'm not just in one lane. I try to make sure that I am multifaceted, because when I started doing this platform, I would be covering, topics that would go on in the world, just like with your platform as well. And I say, no, we're going to do away with the topics. So let's go ahead and just have a just intimate conversation. You, me, whatever you decide to do. Like I said, for this interview, you need to get yourself a glass of wine. Like I have guests that literally come on my platform and they will have their glass of wine. They will do whatever they do to be comfortable. Like, oh, I can get used to this. And I'm just like, wait, I didn't even get that part of the interview yet. So it's whatever makes you feel comfortable. And this platform is about comfort and making everyone happy at the end of the day. Because when I signed up for this, I said I wanted to bring people joy. I wanted to bring people happiness. All right, I think we have another question for you.
Okay.
All right. What would you say to those who target the wrong audiences because they don't know their tribe yet?
Ooh, that's a really good one. So one of the things is you want to make sure of knowing who your core audience is. So the way to go about doing that is go ahead and do the research of what you're trying to put out. And what I mean by doing the research, go to Google, go to different points in it, actually put in what is it that you're looking for of trying to do. Because you want to make sure whatever you're trying to do is going to match that target audience, or if it's going to match the age group and demographic. That's what I meant to say. So my thing is, when I first put the show together of Extraordinary Unplugged, actually, which is a spinoff from Extraordinary Live, when I first put that show together, I started really going ahead and doing the research, because you're going to go to Google first and put in and see what it is that people are really watching and see if that matches up with what you're trying to do first. Because my thing is, once you go and do that and you figure that out, then you go and talk to the people on social media and see, okay, is this going to match up with what I'm trying to do with you guys, or would you guys be even interested in watching it? So do the research through Google first, then go to your social media and then talk to the people from there. That's what I would say.
Absolutely. Even with when I started this platform, and I'm pretty sure you too as well had to write down and envision what you wanted to put into it. Like I wanted to put everything into it that I knew that I would want to reach certain targets of certain audiences. Like I have people both young, old, whatever age group, whatever origin, whatever, they watch the platform and they love it. So it's all about finding something that you know that will bring attention to people, that will be like, oh, what's interesting about this platform and this platform. And I try to set myself aside from others so that I don't, oh, well, you remind me of this one and you remind me of this one. I try to give you a mix of everything, a blend of everything. It's just like creating a jambalaya of content so that people have just the flavor of everything, and everything is represented in that. It's all about creativity, expression, post, exactly. And I try to do it in a way where it is relatable to people, because another key thing that I'm add on to what Chris just said is that you want to be relatable, because I will ask the questions. Okay, no more questions because all right, Paternal. Listen, yes, I'm gonna add on to what Chris just said, which is you want to be relatable to your audience. You want to be relatable to them and say things that be like, ooh, it strikes a light bulb that, I can relate to this. I've been through this as well too. This is something similar that I've experienced. And I try to give people that experience where it's just like, okay, something she said stuck out to me because I've been through this situation, or I might know someone who's also been through this situation as well too. So be relatable to your audience. That is what draws people in. And I try to find the most eye-catching things that will draw people in, conversations that will pull people in. You know what I'm saying? And just in general, whether it's the girl talks or just our one-on-one interviews, people understand it. And they're just like, well, like with my girl talks, I will have family members, cousins, and just people that I went to school with, that are women that will watch the platform and say, well, wow, this is something that I talk about with my coworkers, my girlfriends,
Hmm.
my sisters. I try to make it relatable, where it's just like, okay, we're sitting around, we're having a drink with the girls or whatever, and it's just like that. And people are just tuned in and engaged. Even men watch the girl talks, and I'm just like, wow, wow. And I give
And you know, it's
them a
so funny.
disclaimer.
It's
Yes,
so funny that you say that because you are doing multiple different things, and so those things are going to pick up and catch someone who is in your demographic, and that's the thing about it too as well. So it's like, okay, you're not just doing one show that's just going to be fitting for one group of people. You're doing multiple different pieces of content that's going to match up to separate entities of demographics. So that's one of the biggest things, putting together a bunch of different content that's going to relate towards the masses. So I definitely agree with that.
my island Yankee says it's like kitchen table talk. Yeah, when I do my girl talks, I try to make it relatable, and I give Black women with an opinion just similar as mine, but we all come from different walks of life. We're not all going to look the same. So I make the panel as beautiful and diverse as possible, and people are just engaged. They're tuned in to find out what each woman has to say as well as myself. And let me see what now's the time had to say. I enjoy the mix or all walks of life, from celebrities to everyday community members, people with their own businesses. Yes, and that's what I try to do with my platform. The stigma that I get, that comes with me in this territory, is that, oh, all she interviews is big names, famous people. And I'm just like, no. I give everybody that is unapologetic, that is Black, that is doing something, a platform. They don't have to be famous. If they're Black and they're doing something for the community and for the betterment of POC, for our people that look like us, then they have a seat at the table in the dollhouse, as I would say. And more importantly, so forth and so on. Because I want to impact the next generation. Even the generation that came before me, like the Oprahs and so many others. The Black women that who have been in daytime, who paved the way for women like myself. Everyone, I've seen people that I didn't know prior to them being on your show, but they were very influential people. Absolutely, yes. And everyone is a boss. And this is my theory. This is my thing. Everyone is a boss in their own right, because you're doing something positive. You're working. You're building your brand, just like Chris has his brand. And Style by Stevie is a brand in itself. And everybody is working on something productive that can be counterproductive for the whole Black community as a collective, that can impact and inspire their lives as well also. So that's
That
why
is
I
so
do what
true.
I do. Yes.
That is so true. That is so true. And I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing. Continue doing it. I love it. My thing is, at the end of the day, you're giving people an opportunity to present to the world themselves. And I think that's an amazing, amazing thing.
And it's not easy, because I've had some doors closed in my face, and I'm pretty sure anybody who's in the business can relate to that. You're gonna have doors that are gonna be closed in your face. You're gonna be told no. But I kept persevering. I kept going. There were days when I was uncertain, months where I was uncertain, where am I even gonna have guests come on the platform? So I had to sit down and re-strategize and go back to the drawing board. And that happens for any content creator. Sometimes you have to start over. And there have been plenty of times where I've had to start over and say, okay, let's regroup here. What do I want for this season? And for this season, I said I wanted all fresh new faces, because season 16, you've had your big names. Season 15, you've had your big names. But for this season, I said I wanted all fresh new faces, Black, fresh new faces, because I wanted to give everybody a platform where they can promote their projects, products, whatever it is that they're producing or coming up with. I want everybody that is a fresh new face and Black in the business to have a platform. So that's particularly what I wanted for this season of season 17.
Definitely. I love that. I love that. Yes, you definitely said that. I totally agree. I totally agree with you on that. Totally.
Thank you. Thank y'all. Miss Stevie has no respect of person. Has wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Miss Stevie has no respect of person. She treats the garbage man and the CEO with the same level of, has so much respect for a person, treats the garbage man and the CEO with the same level of respect. Yes, love it. And shout out to Jay Evans, me, Jay Evans, and K Tooks. We did a lot of collaborations is what you can expect to see throughout each season. I know I did shout out to her. Three collaborations with Tina Marie. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to her YouTube channel, True Meaning of Radiance. Shout outs to Jay Evans. We did three collaborations together, me, Jay Evans, and K Tooks, the K Tooks spot. So shouting out their platforms as well. Now's the time I've collaborated with him. So almost everybody that's viewing the platform, I've always either interviewed or collaborated with, and they still come back and watch the platform. So again, it's that factor. I guess I'm the bee, and I'm creating the honey, and the bees are coming in as well too. So it's like it keeps reproducing and keeps reproducing and keeps reproducing, and that's how the cycle should continue of content and people that you've collabed with. Give people something that brings them happiness. So that's what I set out to do. And yes, unapologetic. I do this platform unapologetically with no regrets and fearlessly. There have been times when I've gotten scared that, certain things or certain business pitches that I presented would not work, but you never know unless you take that leap of faith and you jump. And I feel great that I took the jump.
Oh, if that's not the truth right there, that is so true. So, so true.
Yeah.
Taking that leap of faith and, and basically just, okay, you know what, saying, I'm here. I am here. This is what I'm doing. I'm not going to let anybody stand in my way. I'm not going to let my own self stand in the way of my success. So I totally agree.
No, you are not, Alan Yankee. You are my fraternal and a great advisor, and I'm thankful to have people like Alan Yankee, Now's the Time, K Toops, and Jay Evans, and so many others in my life. It's all about, and another thing I would say about this business is create a great support circle of people behind you 100%. Even when you're running wild, your mind is running all over the place. These people are one phone call away, one text away, and then will text and call and check to see if you're good, you're okay in the process. Because doing this can be exhausting. And a lot of people don't realize what goes on behind the scenes for us as content creators to get these things set up. It takes a lot of work. And like Chris said in the beginning of the interview, I too am a perfectionist, and everyone knows this about me. I'm very, very passionate about what I do. So I want to make sure that all of my interviews are successful, everything runs smoothly, because now I've learned that's something that I would do in 2022, and that was a pick apart some of my interviews. Stop watching them. I don't watch them. But now I've gotten comfortable to go back enough to watch my interviews and not critique them and be so, what's the word that I'm looking for? Self-critical and tearing myself apart. Hell, I'll get a text if you already know me so well, Alan Yankee. So yes, Miss Stevie, I'm going to be a text or phone call away. I'm definitely inspired by your work ethic. All the time, now's the time. All the time. And I'm thankful to
I
have
love
you
the love in this
within the
role.
yes. And this is what I get on a daily. And this is why I do what I do, because it makes people happy. It brings people joy. And we've been in a time of uncertainty with everything that's going on in the world, and it seems like it's never, ever ending. You need reassurance that everything is going to be all right. And I said that not too long ago this week. I said, you need reassurance. People in general need reassurance that everything is going to be fine. Everything is going to be all right in times of uncertainty, because we've all been inside the house, and it's just like we're worried about what's going to happen. My mom tells me the same thing, and Alan Yankee will tell me the same thing, that you worry too much. But when it comes to creativity and making sure that everything is perfect, you kind of have to worry a little bit. So your worry is going to be times 10, just a little bit. But it will
Hmm.
all in the end result. So,
That is so true. That is so true.
All right,
That
fashion dolls. I think I preached a whole life class and lesson I can't keep, Chris. But we're going to get into our games here with Chris. All right, the first one is called the Rapid Five. And in the Rapid Five, Chris has to tell us five things that he can't live without. It can be his passions, his goals, his favorite food, what he's looking forward to for 2023, or anything in general. All right? Then the next one is going to be called Turn the Tables. And this is where my guests get to ask me questions. And they get to know a little bit, you kind of get to know a little bit about me through the questioning. So I don't know what Chris is going to ask me. So we're going to start off with the rapid five. What are five things that Chris can't live without?
Woo, that's a good one. Let's see. The gym, video games, food. Let's see. Wow, rapid five. My electronics, and also to let's see. What's another one? Oh, and my phone. There we go.
All right. All right. And my Island Yankee says, I love your bone structure. Where are you from?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm actually from Georgia, actually. Marietta, Georgia is my hometown.
Okay. Okay. All right. So Georgia's in here. So if you're in the ATL, I'm pretty sure a lot of people that are in the ATL area is connected because everyone knows everyone of the who's who, especially when it comes to us content creators. It's a lot up there. All right. So it is
That's
now
true.
time to turn those tables. All right. And turning the tables is my way of cutting the velvet rope and letting people inside because I'm a very private person. I do not reveal a whole lot. So that's what makes me so alluring. And just the mystery about Miss Stevie is my aura, of just being private and candid and keeping certain things about myself. Let's find out what's behind the mystery, though. So I'm going to allow Chris to ask me questions. We're going to turn the tables here. And this is where my guests get to ask me questions, whether it's passions, goals, fashion designers, whatever you want to know about Miss Stevie. So take it away, Chris.
All right, this is a good one. Let's get to flex my muscle a little bit. Let's see. So, for you, this is a good one for this show.
Okay.
What are your goals? What are your goals for this particular platform? How far do you want to take it?
I had a friend, I had a classmate. She's a good friend of mine. She reached out to me not too long ago, and I told her something. I revealed a secret to her, and I said, "There's been people already trying to pitch me to be on national television with this platform, and I've turned it down." I said, "No, with that kind of success comes a big responsibility, and people think that I'm ready for it, but I'm not ready for it because I have a perfectly good reason for that, and it's because." I've seen what the industry can do to so many people. It's like you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. And
Hmm.
I choose to remain where I'm at humbly. I'm thankful and I'm blessed. I don't need to be on that kind of level when I'm not ready or ready to make the move or ready to make the push or the jump because I know what comes behind the scenes of it. And rightfully so. A lot of people should kind of be conscious and have a conscious eye of what goes on behind it because it's a lot. It's a lot that goes on. So my goal for this platform is to continue to keep bringing people joy and happiness, and I'm going to do that probably till I'm about 100 years old. So I want to continue to do that. Great conversations and things where people can tune in and can be like, oh, thought-provoking conversations where it just makes you think. Because I like to make people think as well, or say certain things that will make people kind of open their minds a little bit. So that's what I want to continue to do. That's my goal.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And my thing is, I'm gonna tell you something else. Never, never sell yourself short. I don't know. That just came to me just for a few minutes ago. Never sell yourself short. Because I feel like with this particular platform, I can really see amazing things with it. And I love the fact that you sat there and you said that you're not going to sit there and just give yourself to the industry. I would never do that. And that's one of the things. That's another big reveal sometime down the line. But, but I will say this: continue being your amazing you. because you are an amazing individual, and I really appreciate you again for bringing me on this amazing platform as well. I got another question for you though.
Okay.
Because you're private like I am. I'm a very private individual as well too.
Yeah.
So for that, are you would you call yourself more of an introvert or are you more of an extrovert?
If you know me outside of the show, like now's the time. I'll Yankee personal people, like the people who are really close to me. If you know me outside of the show, you know that I am an extrovert. But when it comes to being this platform, I'm kind of guarded. When I'm in front of the lens, it's kind of guarded. And even in the real world, I'm kind of guarded as well too. So I would have to say a mix of both. But it depends on who I give my energy to. And I think a lot of people should be selective with who they give their energy to. Like, I give you an example. My best friend, my girlfriend Felicia, she is like my sister. And we talk, text every day. She knows me very well outside of the show. She knows all of these things about me, what makes me angry, what makes me sad, what makes me happy. And we laugh and have a good time and kiki. So if you know me outside of the show, you know that I am one of the biggest class clowns there is, because I love to laugh. I love to have a good time. When I'm doing the show, it's kind of the same thing, but I'm kind of guarded because you're being introduced to a new person. So it's kind of like, hi, how you doing? And I can kind of let my hair down just a little bit. But you kind of get both of that when I'm doing Style by Stevie, and then outside of Style by Stevie, you just get full on crazy, just laugh, have a good time, and just nice, just as genuine, sweet as can be. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. And you know it's so funny that you say that. That's definitely the opposite of who I am. So yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting you said that because it's good to hear that from another perspective of someone that lives a private life as well. Because you know a lot of people feel like when you're living a private life, you're hiding something, and I
Oh
don't feel like it's that. I feel
no.
like yeah, I feel like you just don't want everybody in your life. You don't. Everybody shouldn't have that much access to you. You got to be careful about who you give your access to because people do mishandle people, and you don't want anybody to mishandle you. So my thing is, at the end of the day, the less people know, the less that they'll be able to use against you. And that's the thing that I look at it as that too. You know, the more access you give to somebody, the more hurt that they can bring to your life. So my thing is to always, like you said, I love what you said about that, staying guarded, because being guarded, you have to guard yourself, you know? People will try to find a way to misuse you and mishandle you and try to find ways to, as what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very good word. To take advantage, to
Oh
take
yeah.
advantage of you. Yeah. So yeah, I love that. I love that. I do.
Thank you for turning. That is a huge compliment. Alan Yankee says, Miss Stevie is a chameleon. She knows how to adapt. I do. I blend in. I'm a Scorpio. So I go with the
Hey,
flow of
Scorpio.
certain things. Yes, I know a lot of people just like, Scorpio, red flag, wildfire. So listen, at me, I just go with the vibe. Whatever the vibe is and the mood and the aura of whatever is, I read the room before I go into it. And then I know if the energy is not for me, I don't go in that room. But if I know that I'm being welcomed with love, I go in and I just give everybody the same energy back. So it's sort of like matching energy. But if it's not welcome, I know I stay away when someone tells me to stay away. But if it's being welcome and accepted and all of that, access to me is a privilege, absolutely. And I think in this business, in this
Ooh.
industry, it should be that way. I love what Alan Yankee just said. And a lot
Oh,
of
that is so
people who are
true.
in business should have that type of mentality as well. Because getting intimate and up close to someone, that person, or knowing their deepest thoughts, their deepest secrets, what makes them sad, what makes them happy, all of those type of things, it's really on a personal note. And some people are just not ready to adapt and give people all of that yet. So with this platform, you kind of get to know a little bit about Miss Stevie, what makes me happy, what brings me joy. And you know all of the things just from my Instagram, even though people can portray a certain life on Instagram, but I just kind of give you bits and pieces. I don't put personal family business. I don't do that. That's not my cup of tea. Even with some of my guests that come on the platform, the question, and I'm gonna be transparent, that I get asked is, "Are you gonna go personal? What's the interview for?" They kind of give you a side eye and you scratch their head like, what's the interview for? And I said, if you're looking for somebody to get personal, I just tell them straight up. Because I said, going into 2023, I am going to be bolder. I am going to let people know what is really the truth. If you're looking for somebody to get in your business, there's plenty of other platforms that will do that. I don't do that here. I'm looking for transparent conversation, amazing conversation about your career or whatever it is that you're working on, and breaking the ice and showing to people who want to get into this business what's to look forward to in this mirror of the entertainment business. So that's all my platform is about. I don't do personal. I don't do personal. And people get comfortable at a certain level with you because they feel comfortable and safe with you. So I don't do anything that would make my guests feel uncomfortable, where they come on the platform and they're ambushed or bombarded like certain platforms. We ain't gonna call no names. That's a whole certain I know. But I would never do that to my audience. I would never do that to my guests. I want people to feel comfortable at the end of the day, because I've done interviews and I know what it's like to be under the light, under a microscope. It's like you're being interrogated, but in a good way of interrogation, because the audience want to know what's behind the mystery of this woman. What makes her so alluring that you want to interview her? What makes her so different that you want to interview her? Or what makes him so unique that you want to interview him? We love their work, but what makes them that? I don't match energies. I'm going to be more unapologetic, unapologetically. I'm going to be bubbly and positive, even if you aren't. I'm the same way too.
Oh,
Even when I've done interviews and I'm big on body language, I've done certain interviews and the audience will just catch on to it like, yeah, she's uncomfortable. So I would just kind of put on a fake smile like, like, yes, yeah, get out of here. Don't ever. But me, I try not to let it show. I do my job at the end of the day, and I do it so gracefully where people can't tell if it's real, if it's genuine. But for the ones that are genuine, like this interview is genuine, and the other interviews throughout this week have been genuine. But some in the past that I've done in 2022, if you know, you know, you could tell that my body language was off. And I'm just like, okay, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I feel so great that you're here. And they're just like, uh-oh, she's being shady. The eyes tell it all. The eyes tell it all. And in these dark brown eyes, there have been times when people could just be able to pick up and say, okay, yeah, something's off about this interview. So that's another thing, that if you're getting into this business, that you can look forward to. Your audience will always tell if something is off. And I've seen it happen on other talk shows, major talk shows, where an interview can go sour. And so far, I haven't had that happen.
that is so true that you just said that. That is so true. I've been in some rooms with that in those type of situations, so I totally can relate to what you're saying. I definitely can. Yeah.
So if you've
As,
watched The Breakfast Club, you know what I'm talking about. Where certain or other platforms, if you know, you know. So,
hmm
but that hasn't happened to me. It hasn't happened to me, and I'm thankful. Hey, girl. Shout
I'm glad
outs to
that
my
happened.
girl. Shout outs to my girl, Blue Haze Clothing. She's in the Atlanta area, so Chris, definitely link up with her. Um, Black owned. I know her mood even before she do. Yes, Island Yankee will catch on to it. Others will catch on to it. It's been going on, especially in sports, when it comes to Black people being injured, and how some news analysts would not like to speak up on those things. Just want the game to continue. Blonde looks good on you. Thank you. Yes, I had to change it
Yes,
up
the
this week
blonde does.
because thank y'all. That's another thing about me. You can expect the unexpected. And that's why people tune in, because they're just, some of them tune in to see what I'm wearing each week, or what the hair color is gonna be. Or me, I'm like a wild card. You never know what you're gonna get, and that's the mystery of Miss Stevie. You never know what you're gonna get with me because I'm always changing my look. I'm always reinventing myself, and that's another thing in this business. Never sell your, like Chris said a few minutes ago, never sell yourself short, and not in just one box. Now, there have been a couple episodes where I just wanted to do black hair, and it's just because it was so sleek and it made my eyes stand out. But blonde is just, it's just something about it. Nails always fabulous. Oh, thank you. Now's the time. I take a lot of pride in my appearance when I come on here because it's certain things the audience again will catch up on, and I try to make sure that everyone understands that going into this business, you have to make sure that everything is on point from A to Z because people will catch on to just even the little things. Oh my God, her pantyhose is hanging out. Oh my God, her breast is showing. Yes, and I've almost had a couple wardrobe malfunctions on this platform. Thank God nobody's caught wind of it. Like the gown I wore, what was it, Wednesday? So yeah, I almost had a wardrobe malfunction, but thank God for long hair. That's all I'm gonna say. So
Thank God for the long hair. Thank
yeah,
God for
thank
the long hair.
God for long hair. So yeah,
Definitely.
the colorful gown that everyone liked this week. Yeah, I've had almost had a couple wardrobe malfunctions on here. The leather was too tight. Things almost got ripped. Um, almost got exposed. You're getting all of that of what goes on behind the scenes, and I must say that I am thankful that you guys didn't see any of that, none of it, because you'd be like, oh my God, Miss Stevie's selling Playboy, she's selling OnlyFans. What's going on over here, girl? So no, it ain't that kind of party. But I try to do it in a way where it's just like, okay, you get every woman each week, so it's fun, especially the all. Oh yeah, I remember that one, Alan Yankee. Yes, yes. My mom is a good old Christian woman, and some of the dresses that I wear on the platform, she'd be like, "God, girl, I just wish I would have taken you to church more." But listen, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with my sexuality and embracing my sexuality and femininity. Is the best part of being a woman, and I love showing all of those facets to you. Whether it's a little leg, a little cleavage, a little bit of everything. I feel comfortable with, and it's because
And
I'm
you should.
comfortable within my skin. So there are days like today. I just wanted to be a little bit of a tomboy with the short set, and then there's a couple of days where I just like Wednesday where I just wanted to go over the top glamorous with that gown. Now, believe it or not, that gown in the front, yeah, it was like a long V-neck type thing, but in the back, it was a lot of back showing. So yeah, and that dress was short. My mom, when I showed the length when I first got that dress and I showed it to my mom, she's like, "Oh my God!" But then when she seen it on me, it was a whole different story. It was a whole different story. So refer back to Wednesday's post when I did the interview with Nathan. That interview is up. You'll see which gown that I'm talking about. But yeah, I always try to switch it up. So you never know what you're gonna get here. But the
I
Sharon
love that.
Stone moment, the one that was the Sharon Stone was when the dress was too short, and I had to keep my legs crossed because yeah, they'd be like, oh holy, she's got it. Yeah, if you know, you know. So, but hey, it comes with the territory. I try to do it in a way where it is selling sex, but not selling sex, being classy and tasteful at the same time. But just wanted to say bye and say hi, and you look amazing. An awesome guest. Love y'all. Thank you, girl.
Thank
Thank you, Blue Haze.
you.
Y'all make sure go and check her out and shop Blue Haze clothing. Clothing for every shape, every size up there. It is amazing, and she's in the Atlanta area, so y'all definitely go and check her out. And the black dress and the black gown and the green gown, she's responsible for. It was definitely a sugar baby moment. That's an inside joke. Only me and Ali Yankee know about that. So yeah, that behind that dress, that's where the sugar baby came from. So Oh my goodness. I can't believe y'all remember. Y'all know everything. But other than that, this has been a great conversation. And again, just the transparency. This is what people look for when they come into a talk show or a platform is transparency. So I give you just a little bit without giving too much. And that's what I try to be with my audience and even with my friends and family in real life. So yeah, anybody who wants to host a talk show or a platform, that would be some of the advice that I would give along with what Chris said as well too. And that is to just be transparent with your audience. Be original, be honest, because if you're faking it to the fullest and you're not humble, your audience can catch on to that. And, and I had to hold myself accountable and be critical about certain things with my audience. Be like, I did this, I don't feel right about it. But there comes a time when you're going to have to look in that mirror and you're going to have to hold yourself accountable for certain things. Your past should not dictate your future, let alone it should be a learning experience for you, as well as myself. And I'm still learning from it. So I'm blessed to be where I'm at this point in my life. And I wouldn't take it for granted. Not a thing. I would not take it for granted. It's a blessing to me. Everything that I've worked so hard for this platform, just the success and everything behind it, I would have never imagined. So to every platform of content creators out there who are watching, you and your success alone, your story, your legacy, your time, your water. So at the end of the day, embrace it. Um,
I
my
totally agree.
affirmation
I totally agree with
says,
you.
yes, and he has a comment for you. He says, I love your energy. It's so chill yet assertive, humble yet confident.
Thank you. Thank you. I try my best to be a very humble steward. That's how I was raised. I was always raised to be humble, and never make everything about you, because everything is not about me. That's one of the reasons I created my programming. If anybody watch any of my programming, I'm not on any of my programming. It's all about everybody else. You know, I create platforms for those individuals that I feel that deserve those type of opportunities. So that's just me all the time. Like every show that I come up with has a different meaning or a different energy or vibe for anybody else that wants to do it. So I'm just that person that just works behind the scene to make everybody look good. That's hey, that's my thing.
Hey, and at the end of the day, that's how it should be. So it is. We went a little bit over Fashion Dolls, so the interview is almost time for the final. Yeah, for the final thought of the day. So I'm going to let Christopher take it away. What are some words of wisdom that you would like to leave for people into this new year? Because we're about to be in February. We're officially in the new year of 2023, but we're going into a whole new month, which is coming up February. So that means Valentine's Day and so many things. What are some nuggets or gems of wisdom that you would like to leave for people in the year of 2023?
Ooh, that's a good one. There are so many actually. So now you're going to get me to preaching a little bit because on my Facebook page, I throw out a lot of good inspirational quotes or trying to encourage people to be them better selves and things of that nature. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of one that definitely goes into this year. This year is the year of completion. So my thing is, at the end of the day, if you already have an idea of what you want to do not hesitate to do it. The time is now. Make it a thing. Make it happen. Make your dreams, make your wishes come true. You know, it's so funny because, and I stand on that word because the person that inspired me to go into business, their company is turning 100 years old this year, which is Walt Disney. Walt Disney's company is turning 100
Yes.
100 years old. So my thing is, and I love that word, just what I just said about making your dreams come true. He made his dreams come true, and a lot of folks don't know his story. But one thing I love about his story is that that man came from nothing and made it into something. A lot of people always feel that, you know, certain people, just because they're a certain skin color or whatever, that they already have themselves together. No one knows anybody else's story until their story is told. So my thing is, at the end of the day, your time is now. Make that moment yours. Make this year count. Stand on it, stand firm on it, make it come true. Don't hesitate on it and make it happen. That's my thing.
Right? Fashion dolls and leap. If this is something that you want to do, getting into the field of content creating or behind the scenes, producing, directing, and letting them take over, letting them have a platform, letting them have a floor, then you connect with the right form of people, the right group of people. So it's all about surrounding yourself with the right crowd. Your vibe attracts your tribe. So that is the word of the day, fashion dolls. And Christopher, let everyone know where they can follow you and where they can check out the platform. I watch the platform Thursdays when I get a moment. So make sure you guys go and check it out Thursdays as well too.
Definitely. You guys can find us. We have so many pages. You guys can find us on Facebook, The Extraordinary Network, or you can go and find us on Facebook as well with Extraordinary Entertainment. And also, too, on top of that, you can go on Instagram and you can find us on The Extro Network, which is another Instagram page. And then you can also find us on Extro ENT, which is Extraordinary Entertainment, and also too for the talk show, you can find us at Extra Unplugged, and there you can find us as well there.
All right. And this interview will be uploaded to Style by Stevie Daytime. Make sure you guys head on over and subscribe. And more importantly, make sure you guys go and check out the Extraordinary Talk Show on Facebook every Thursday. Great conversation, amazing hosts, and so much more is to come. So make sure you guys follow Christopher. Thank you so much for just giving us a few minutes of your time. And
And Stevie,
with
can I
we
do
love to
one
have you
thing?
back. Go
Can
ahead.
I do one thing? Can I give a shout out to my co-host for that show? Because that show it can't be anything without them. I can't. Johnny Winston III, one of the original co-hosts for that show. I definitely want to give a shout out to him. An amazing, amazing individual. We're going to give a shout out to Rashad West as well, and then also too want to give a shout out to our new co-host Henry James. So they will be coming to you guys on February 2nd. 7:30. So definitely watch. We're on YouTube and also too on Facebook when we stream. So definitely look out for us, and we hope that you come and tune in and be entertained because we give you pure entertainment on that show, as well as giving you the current events and hot topics that are going on within that week. So definitely tune in.
Remember, a broken crayon can still color. Absolutely. I love what Alan Yankee just said. That's
Ooh,
beautiful.
that's so good.
Absolutely. Yes. So whatever you're pushing towards, you make sure you go for it. And that is our amazing lineup for this week, Fashion Dolls. It's been an amazing week so far. We have more amazing guests coming on next week, and be on the lookout for the
Awesome.
lineup. Make sure you guys go vote for your favorite look of the week. Now, I gave you guys at least 5 different looks throughout this week, so be on the lookout for that. Head on over and subscribe to Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube. And this interview will be up, so make sure you guys go back and catch the replay. We love you all, and you guys have a safe and blessed weekend. You guys stay fierce, stay fabulous, and stay Style by Stevie. Next week, we have some amazing guests coming on, so make sure you guys be on the lookout for that. Take care, everyone. Take care.